Stop saying yes when your whole soul is screaming, no. In our daily lives, we often face a very frustrating and difficult situation. Someone asks us for a favor, but deep down the request feels completely wrong. It feels unfair, it feels unreasonable. Maybe a colleague drops a heavy project on your desk at 5 p.m. on a Friday and asks you to finish it over the weekend. Maybe an acquaintance asks to borrow money that you know they will never pay back, or maybe a family member constantly demands your time and energy without offering any support in return. What do you usually do in these moments? Do you say yes simply because you are afraid of conflict? Do you stay up late feeling angry and resentful? Do you carry a heavy burden of guilt whenever you even think about turning someone down? If this sounds like you, please know that you are not alone. Today on The Mind Flips, we are going to master the vital skill of setting clear boundaries. I am going to share exact English phrases that you can use to say no, elegantly, firmly, and without a single drop of guilt. We will speak slowly and clearly throughout this video, allowing you to absorb the tone, internalize the language, and practice each key phrase right along with me. Why we struggle to say no. Before we jump into the specific practical phrases, let us take a moment to understand the underlying psychology. Why is saying a simple two-letter word so challenging for so many of us? Many of us are socialized to be people pleasers. From a young age, we are taught that keeping the peace and making others happy is our primary responsibility. We want people to like us. We desperately want to avoid being labeled as selfish, rude, or cold. We fall into the cognitive trap of believing that refusing a request automatically makes us a bad person. However, I want you to write this key principle down and remember it forever. Whenever you say yes to an unreasonable request out of obligation, you are actively saying no to your own peace, your time, and your mental health. Setting healthy boundaries is not selfish. It is an essential act of self-respect. When you begin to respect your own time, schedule, and energy, other people will naturally learn to respect them as well. Scenario 1. The last-minute work request. Let us walk through our first real-world scenario, the unreasonable last-minute task at work. Imagine this picture clearly. It is almost the end of the workday. You have organized your schedule, finished your tasks, and are preparing to log off. Suddenly, a coworker walks up to your desk, drops a thick stack of papers, and says, "I really need you to complete this by tomorrow morning." How do you refuse this elegantly, without hurting your professional reputation? Phrase 1. The professional pivot. I understand this is a priority, but I am currently focused on my existing tasks, and cannot take on anything new right now. Phrase 2. The solution-oriented refusal. I won't be able to get to this today. If it is truly urgent, perhaps we can ask the manager to help us reprioritize my current workload. Why do these responses work so brilliantly? Notice that you are not sounding lazy or unhelpful. You are not saying "I refuse to work." Instead, you are communicating that your schedule is already filled with valuable high-priority work. This frames your refusal not as a lack of effort, but as a demonstration of professional responsibility. Scenario 2. Borrowing money or personal assets. Our second scenario involves a delicate personal situation, someone asking to borrow your hard-earned money or valuable assets. A friend, relative, or neighbor asks to borrow a large sum of money, or perhaps your expensive vehicle, and the request makes you deeply uncomfortable. Money and personal property can ruin relationships faster than almost anything else. Here is how you can protect your assets while preserving the relationship. Phrase 3. The personal policy. I have a strict personal rule about not lending money to friends. I value our relationship far too much to let finances come between us. Phrase 4. The soft refusal. I am sorry, but that is not something I am comfortable doing. I hope you can understand my position. The genius of using a personal rule is that it removes the personal rejection from the equation. You are not refusing them specifically, you are simply abiding by a rule that applies to everyone. Best of all, you do not owe anyone a long explanation. A personal boundary is a complete sentence. Scenario 3. The energy vampire social demands. Now, let us discuss our third scenario, dealing with emotional drainers and social demands. We all have people in our lives who use us as an emotional dump. They call you to complain for hours, draining every ounce of your energy, leaving you completely exhausted. You want to be a supportive person, but you also need to guard your precious emotional resources. Here is how to handle social energy vampires gracefully. Phrase 5. The time box method. I can see you are going through a difficult time. I have about 10 minutes to listen right now, but then I must return to my personal tasks. Phrase 6. The rain check. I am not in the right headspace to give you the attention you deserve right now. Can we catch up another time, when I am feeling more refreshed? These phrases are effective because they balance compassion with boundary setting. You show genuine empathy for their feelings, but you firmly dictate the limit of your time and emotional bandwidth. 3 golden rules for saying no. To ensure your refusals are always smooth, confident, and effective, keep these 3 structural golden rules in mind. Do not over-explain. The moment you provide an endless list of excuses, people will try to solve your excuses to extract a yes. State your position clearly, and keep it brief. Use I statements. Avoid accusatory language like, you are being demanding. Shift the focus entirely to yourself. I am not able to take this on. The positive sandwich. Wrap your refusal between 2 pleasant positive statements. Start with gratitude, state your firm boundary, and conclude with warm wishes. Conclusion and practice. Remember, saying no is not a personality trait, it is a practical skill. It functions just like a physical muscle. The first time you use it, it will feel awkward, uncomfortable, and heavy. But the more you exercise it, the stronger, more natural, and more empowering it becomes. Which of these 3 scenarios do you find the most difficult to handle in your daily life? Is it work, friends, or family dynamics? Leave a comment below sharing your thoughts. I personally read and appreciate every single response. If this lesson offered you value, please like this video, and subscribe to the Mind Flips. Stand in front of a mirror today, practice these phrases out loud, and claim ownership over your time. You deserve clear boundaries, and you deserve to be heard. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye. Silence.